So yeah, hi Charlie.
Hi.
Great, great to meet you, and big thanks to you and Dakota. I guess she's not available or she's working on it, but
He's working on
I
it.
think we both live in the same city. I believe she's in Vancouver as well. Um, so this is great. I have had psoriasis for like, oh my God, like over 40 years. And anyway, I won't give you my whole story. Everybody's got theirs. It comes, it goes. It started on my scalp about 4 years ago for no reason. I did nothing any different. It's completely gone from my scalp. It has never returned yet. So I have no idea what happened there, except oddly, I never thought about that. I started going through menopause, so I don't know, something went on with my head, scalp, psoriasis, and menopause. Who knows? On the flip side, while it went away from my scalp, I started getting these patches below my knees. Usually, most of my psoriasis for most of my life, certainly compared to a lot of other poor people, it's been relatively mild, like more around my elbows, and I'm pointing to it, but you can't see like that.
Right.
What's the thing? The opposite side of your forearm, but you know, on the back side of your forearm, sort of between the elbow and the mid part of the arm. I've had different patches come and go, as you know how psoriasis is. Um, that was where it mostly was, and my scalp. And I definitely noticed, whether it is the change of life or hormones or who knows, but about 4-ish years ago, like I said, went
All
away from
right.
my, oh,
Uh, okay.
Dakota just showed up, so she just got online.
Okay, but I can't find
And
my.
Go
Where's
ahead with
my?
your story though, because I'm
I'll
into
turn the
it.
camera on.
Screw her.
okay.
Wait.
There you
Oh, there's
All
Dakota.
right, there it is.
go. And for everybody viewing the webinar, there's a line between the Freedom from Psoriasis webpage and the two video screens of the speakers. You can actually put your mouse in between the line and expand the images of the two talking and shrink the size of the screen. So you can adjust the size of the images of the speakers if you wish to. So welcome, Dakota. I'm glad you finally made it on, and Charlie. And
That
Dakota,
was
we've
yes.
got Roz on the line right now, so she was just giving some of her background on her psoriasis.
Oh, okay.
So actually, just Dakota, you'll just have to listen in a little bit.
Yeah.
She. Go ahead, Raj.
Yeah. Well, I should, first of all, hi, Dakota, fellow
Hi.
Vancouverite, I believe, and that sure looks like it back there. Yay, sunshine today after a downfall yesterday. Holy man.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
Yeah, I just came in the middle of my story of over 40 years with psoriasis and saying, interestingly, I never thought about this except as I was just saying it out loud to Charlie, whether this had anything to do with menopause, but I noticed about 4 years ago a change in my psoriasis pattern. It used to be on my scalp and just in this part of my elbows. Um, you know, comes and goes that I would get little teeny things around my legs, around my knee, right on my knees, but, you know, occasionally, and then they'd go away. And about 4-ish years ago, I have no idea, like I said to Charlie, just completely went away from my scalp, and it has not returned. But
That's good.
that's great. But all of a sudden, the patches around my legs on my knees were getting bigger. And I would say this past year or so, we're not on video. I can send you guys pictures later because I've been doing, hopefully, before and after pictures. So far, they're just before. Wow, like this past year, just explosions all over from on my knees and all around the calves and the front of my legs. And again, not like I've seen some people really suffering, not like all covered, just lots of little red things, not really itchy, not bothersome, just, as you know, a bit annoying and all that. So thank you. Perfect timing. I saw your article in Common Ground. I've been on the protocol now since July. And I guess, so thank you for listening to my story, because the lead up to all of this is So July, August, September, actually I guess 3.5 months now, and I'm still on the megadose, I guess, for lack of a better word. I should just grab my protocol here, but that first thing where it's the, 10,000, here we go. So I'm still doing, like about the 25,000 of the D3, which again, unfortunately, you can't see. As Dakota knows, unfortunately, in Canada, we can't get more than 1,000 IUs. But I was able to find this wonderful place that has these 50,000 IU D3s. It's really, they use it for cancer patients. It's at Quidada's on Commercial Drive, if you're ever looking.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know the place.
Yeah. Yeah,
You can get 50,000 there?
yes. Well, it was a long story of me talking to the gal and explaining what I'm doing, and is there any bigger, D3? And she, of course, reiterated, no, we're just not allowed. And then she's kind of looking around and going, well, actually, I'm behind the counter.
Okay, well, maybe not
She
say
had
that.
these. No, well, nobody knows. Blah blah blah. So what I've been doing with these since July.
Yeah.
Is because it's 50,000 and it is a capsule and it's powder. So I don't know if that has been making a difference. It's not a gel.
Okay, so that might be something to think about.
But I have been taking it with like coconut milk, like a coconut cream or something oily or a nut butter.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I mean, I guess we can talk to that later. What are the options? So I've basically been taking a capsule and roughly sort of tapping out half of the powder and then having one day and then the other the next. So basically over 2 days, 50,000. And I did finally get the Life Extension Super K, the one you recommended.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I've been using other kinds previous, but now I've been using that one. And I've got the magnesium. I bought the Ancient Minerals magnesium bath flakes. I do the 50-50. Basically, totally following your protocol, no dairy, which I did want to ask you. I assume goat milk is still considered dairy.
Yep, it's still
yeah,
dairy.
I know. That's what my friend asked me, and I'm like, no. So
It's a little better though. I mean.
Well, that's what I figured. Once I get better now, so. This is my thing, is like it's been over 3.5 months, and maybe a little bit of progress, certainly not as itchy, this and that, but I'm just wondering, and I'm not the most patient person, even though, yes, I've had this for 40-odd years, so what's another year, but I guess I'm wondering, like you said, maybe the powder D3 isn't as beneficial. Perhaps there is.
Can I just interrupt you for a second?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things. Okay. For some reason, I'm getting an echo.
I hear it too.
Is there any way I can get Michael?
Yeah.
Is there?
It sounds like your headset is not plugged in.
Oh. Well, I do have it plugged in. I'll try to. Okay, well, should I take my head? Maybe I should take my head.
No.
Now put a pillow over your face. Try that.
The echo gone now?
Yeah. Yes. Well, at least it's a lot quieter.
Okay. Well,
So Roz.
it doesn't.
Yes.
You shouldn't have the sound coming out of your computer speakers. It should be coming out of your headset.
Okay. All right.
So-
Well, I have my speakers.
And it doesn't. Your microphone's really quiet too. So-
Okay. Well, whatever. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, Dakota.
Okay. So Roz.
Yeah.
I noticed that there was a particular time when I wasn't able to, I thought, well, it's too hard to get the Life Extension, it's too expensive. I'm just going to try. I found a place on Broadway that I could get a D3 that was in a powder form, and I noticed almost immediately that my skin, I was in that bad stage, and I noticed that I was doing really well, and then it was not working as well.
Hmm.
So I just threw them away and went across the border and got the life extension and just stayed exactly with what I had used right at the beginning. And then things just went back went back normal. So you might have kind of had a period of time where you were taking a high dosage D3, but it was a powder form, and I don't know why. I mean, I just kind of stick to what exactly. I did exactly what Flint Chick did. And
What who did? Sorry?
her name was Flint Chick. She was the one that was first talked about K2D3. And so when she said and showed pictures, not on, when we were on another site, that's where I found out about it. I saw her pictures and I went, I'm going to do exactly what she did.
Right.
And so I ordered it from the States and had it UPS to my house here at great expense, I might add. And that's what I did. So I followed it exactly to the T. Now I was already off dairy. I didn't know about magnesium chloride, but I got onto that fairly soon, and then I got onto it even better when Charlie came on, and and then we joined forces, and then started doing that part. But I was doing the magnesium. But I really did. I just don't know if there's another K2 that seems to be as good as that life extension, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know what.
Well, so I guess, I mean, that's fine. Like I said, now I am using.
When did you get the life extension?
I'd have to double check because I did order it from Amazon, and it is like the advanced K2 complex with the
When did you get it?
I think it was. When were we sort of being threatened with a postal strike? It was kind of like mid-September, I think. So it's been about maybe a month. But going back to, I just wanted to clarify because you kept talking about the K2, but I'm wondering now about this D3 being, that's all I've been taking is this extreme 50,000 divided by 2, and it's in a powder.
How are you dividing it? It's a powder form.
Well, it's like I said, it's powder in one of those, the gelatin capsules, so I can easily split the top off. It kind of looks like I'm doing lines in the morning because I'm sort of tapping out the powder.
All right, Roz, I would, if I were you, and I can't give any advice, if I was you, can you go across the border?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Go across the border, go to Bellingham, go to Super Supplements, and get yourself some soft gel D3.
Okay.
Soft gel. As soon as I got some there that I got a little bottle on sale, and I thought, what a good deal! I'm going to get that. And I also bought the 10,000 soft gel, but I got home, it was powder. I threw it in the garbage.
Huh. And that's really the only way, because I tried to order online through Amazon, 5,000 IU D3, the gel, and it came up like, sorry, we can't ship it there. So clearly there's some ridiculous thing that,
there is a ridiculous thing. So, I mean, I hate to say this because this is what I do.
Well,
I take old vitamin bottles with me, and I replace.
You transport across borders?
I do. I get 10,000 and 5,000 I use and put them in 1,000 Canadian bottle.
Oh, you're gonna be busted.
I know.
So
because it's the only way I can do it. Because the thing is, it's like I mean, it's so ridiculous.
Let me just ask this real quick. On your magnesium application, what's your scenario there? What do you do?
So I take like I'll measure. Again, I can't show you, but they're the flakes, right? The magnesium chloride, ancient minerals, and I'll take 1 cup, and I'll put it in with 1 cup of water and dissolve it. And so
Right.
it's 1 to 1. And then I have it in a spray bottle, and every morning I spray it right on all my psoriasis parts. And usually I'll leave it on in the morning. Have my coffee, blah, blah, blah. So maybe like an hour, and then I shower. So I'm
Okay.
only doing it once a day in the morning.
Okay, let me just kind of exaggerate on that a little bit in the fact that in the very beginning when I found out about this, that's what I did. I put it on the psoriasis itself, and what it does is it dries everything that touches. Doesn't matter, which is actually good for the psoriasis, depending on the type. But anyway, your best option is to actually put it on your underarms. Your
I
underarms
do that
have
too.
right. Okay,
Actually,
underarms, but
sorry, yeah.
the
Yeah.
the frequency of magnesium, especially in the beginning, you can do 3 to 4 times a day, and
Uh,
you're doing okay. Okay.
yeah.
I mean, the more the better. Unlike oral magnesium, you're not going to get the runs. You're not going to get this and that. Uh, if you do this 2 to 3 times a day, if you can, especially on the underarms, because it's so good, and it's actually it's you can't see it like I do when I go down to my pond every day. I put it on my arms everywhere, and my arms look like I've been in salt water, because that's what it is. It dries off,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I don't get bit, and that's my
Oh,
important thing. But anyway,
that's an added benefit. Okay.
yeah, but that's one of the things I learned was, especially in the beginning, trying to build your body back up, especially if you drink coffee, if you drink soda pop, beer, cigarettes, all of the above I do. So I don't worry about it. I know this has to happen every day, and I try to do it as frequently as possible. Anymore, with the clearing that I have, it's maybe once or twice a day at best. But in the beginning, it was 3 to 4 times a day. And the more
Interesting. Okay.
and the more the better. You can't OD on it. Okay.
Okay. But
So,
you're saying, and then this would be specifically just, if nothing else, just under the arms, which is much easier because I do find it has that kind of sticky,
correct.
gummy.
And
Okay.
better because if you do put it directly on the psoriasis, it will irritate it.
Yeah.
And it will make it dry, it will make it itchy, even though it's still going to do its magic.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's better, and I didn't know that in the beginning either, and I used to cover my
Okay.
body with it and just,
Yeah.
burn in hell for a while, but now
Okay.
it's not a big deal. But yeah, I would do that. And one of the other things too, and I do this during the winter time, foot baths are as good as the underarm. If you can do, I went to Walmart and bought me a little a little Tupperware tray that I poured into the same consistency basically,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
I put real hot water in there, soak my feet when I've come in out of the snow or cold, and even the next day or two, I'll use it 2 or 3 times before I'll finally dump it out. So.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, of course, the feet and the they just absorb,
Yeah.
so that.
And it doesn't affect your inflamed areas that a lot of people
Right.
have. Like I'm talking about, you're talking about little bumps. I'm talking about extreme cracking, bleeding,
Yeah.
scaling, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But still,
No.
it's the same difference. If you get a scratch, a paper cut, and you get that magnesium touches it, you're gonna know it's there.
Oh man, I've done that. I've had a
Yeah.
little thing on my cuticle and forgotten. Went, holy man, that
Yeah.
stings. So,
Yeah.
well, that is really helpful. I will do that. And
But it
then,
won't. You can't get hurt by it. It won't hurt at all, and
okay.
extremely
No, and I've got
beneficial.
still tons of the flakes because that last, that's a great thing, the dilution. Thank you for that. It's great. And so I just want to go back to Dakota quickly with the D3 gel. Then,
Soft gel.
sorry, the soft gel, yes.
Yep.
Okay, which again, then it looks like the only thing is, yes, cross-border. What, sorry, you had mentioned some, is it the super vitamin shop, or there was some place in Blaine or in Bellingham?
It's in Bellingham. Now,
Bellingham.
I don't think you're going to have too much of a problem even in Blaine to get the D3. It's just that the reason I go to Bellingham is that I kill two birds with one stone because I'm getting the D3 and the K2. I always phone first. They didn't used to carry it. They used to bring it in for me, but now they've started carrying it because they've actually been bought out by someone, so it's a, you know, so, but it's called the Super Supplement Store, and it is in Bellingham. So I go down there. They have like 3 or 4 or 5 different kinds of D3. You know, 5,000, 10,000.
Is there a brand or something you think, like, does Life Extension make D3, or it doesn't matter as long?
No, but what I do is I ask them, and I just say I'm looking for, you know, because I don't know all their companies, like I do know companies more in Canada, so I just say to them, what's a really good company? I don't mind paying more. I just want to make sure that I'm getting a good one.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's
and
it.
I always get I get a 10,000 and I get a 5,000 because sometimes. Because I cheat sometimes on dairy. I mean, I do. So what I do is if I notice that my elbows are getting a little rough, I'm noticing I don't get the inflammation like I used to. Like I used to be red. Okay, now it might be a little rough, but it's not red. So what I do is I go, okay, I've been cheating, and I'll jump it up to 15. So I have my little bottle of 10 and I have my little bottle of 5.
Right.
It's easy for me to play around with my numbers that way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and by the way, another thing that this is just I was over on the island at Ladysmith, and I went into the Ladysmith health food store. The woman in there is really interesting, and she had taken 50,000 IU of D3 for a year.
Wow. Did she have cancer, or what was?
No, I you know, I don't even know why I didn't ask her. Well, why did you do that? And she said, "Oh no, I had no side effects." So now she knew about taking the K2 with it. But what's interesting is she had a vitamin K2, MK7, that was a liquid, and it was 30 micrograms per drop.
30 micrograms, and we're supposed to take what, 200?
Yeah, around 200. So it'd be like taking 7 drops, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought there's another option.
Yeah.
Although,
well, I like, now that I've got the Life Extension, I really like them. Small little gel ones, and right now, one in the morning, one at night. It's easy.
So I think it would be good for you to get across the board, you know, go across the border and get yourself some D3. You will change a little bit your, you know, the way you use your magnesium. You are doing no dairy at all?
No. The only reason I'm pausing is because, like, seriously, my only thing, people were like, oh my God, no dairy. And yes, I totally love cheese, especially goat cheese. But I actually haven't found that difficult. I was mostly a huge goat yogurt fan. I make my own goat milk yogurt. But you know, I'm substituting coconut cream for a lot of it, so I don't miss it. The only thing why I kind of hesitated was there might be things where occasionally I've had like the other night I was at the Reef restaurant, and it's Caribbean, and they had those, what are they called, the Johnny cakes. So I just ate one, and then after realized, oh my God, there was probably a bit of butter in there. So there's probably been a few times where I've eaten out.
Whoa. Here we go. Both Charlie and I are going to stop you right there. You know, butter ain't a problem.
No, it's not.
What?
Butter is not a problem.
Yeah.
How can that be?
If you can get
dairy.
Well, I know, but if you can get grass-fed butter, it's even better. But a little bit of butter. Sorry, I've been doing butter all the way through. It's the creamy dairy. There, I'm
And
not.
and
See, we're not
and
100% sure how this works, but there's
no,
Yeah, yeah,
something in milk and cream and yogurt, and it's
yeah,
kind of the white stuff. You know,
yeah.
the other option is to go for ghee. Ghee, which you can get in
I
Vancouver.
have ghee. I
Oh,
have ghee in the fridge. I didn't know that, so I can. And I
yeah.
have
now,
grass-fed butter
to give you
in the freezer.
an example, I have never stopped my. It's a daily thing. I get up, I have to have toast and butter. I don't care if I eat all day long, but that
Okay.
has to happen every morning, and never has that stopped during this entire process.
Oh my God, you just made my life even better because
Yeah.
I know, isn't
that
it
to
wonderful?
me.
Now in the
I mean, and
beginning, but when I started to listen to Dakota, I'm like, oh, I don't want to listen to a health nut. But she was making sense on a lot of stuff, and
yeah,
so I did switch
He
for a while. I
resists
went
me.
to
He resists me
yeah,
until
I
he
do.
finally hears me.
I'd love to slap her if I could reach through the phone. But anyway, I
oh my
used
God,
I
you're
use
cute.
coconut oil
Yeah,
sometimes on toast instead of butter. Well, that's
yeah,
okay, but sometimes it's just a little too much.
yeah,
And I'd go back to my butter. It's like, well, you know what? Screw it. And I stay
yeah.
with butter, and I always have. There's not a problem. There's not a problem
And
with
so
Well,
butter.
what? Here, Roz.
yeah.
If you want to go down to Bellingham with me one time, if you live in do you live in Vancouver?
I'm like Granville Broadway area.
Oh, for gosh sakes, I live at Arbutus and Sixth.
Oh my God, we're neighbors. That's hilarious.
All right, we
Okay,
should we should go down together and go to Trader Joe's
okay.
because they usually carry grass-fed butter and
That's
it's
not
Irish.
Trader Joe's. That's Pirate Joe's.
Pirate.
No, no,
I
no,
know
no.
about it.
Pirate Joe's is in Vancouver. We
Yeah.
go down across the border, then it's Trader Joe's.
But by the time you get done with it, it's Pirate Joe's.
We'll be pirate vitamins, pirate supplements.
Pirate will be.
Well, I would that would be great because well, in fact, right now it's funny. When I started this protocol, I go to the farmers market, and there's this wonderful the farmhouse out in Agassiz that always has a stand at the farmers market, and I had just bought all this amazing grass-fed butter. I'd never.
Oh, well,
You
there
can't
you
eat
go.
regular butter after you've had this butter. It tastes like
Oh, I know.
insanely delicious.
Oh,
But
I
I
know.
froze it. I cut it into chunks and went, well, I'll see you another day. But now,
Oh,
so
no,
I
no,
can
no.
have that.
No,
Okay.
you can eat your grass-fed butter. Life
Yeah.
is grand.
Hey,
Like,
as long as you're not putting it over a bunch of macaroni and cheese, you're
no,
yeah.
no. Well, then, so going back to your question, I would have to say, like, honestly, I mean, I haven't had like oh, you know what? There might have been one hamburger with a bit of cheese like 2 weeks ago, but
You
honestly,
know what?
yeah, it is not. I have not. The only thing where I ate a lot of dairy in my life recently totally was the yogurt. I would have almost every morning my goat
Yeah,
milk yogurt. So
I know.
that is completely gone. And
Good.
I've made my own coconut milk yogurt. It's okay. It's not the same at all, but
I know.
I'm fine without that. Now that I know.
You're on the right track. Just change your
Yeah.
dairy
I
and
just
try to.
tweak.
Yeah, it sounds like. Well, thank you guys. The gel D3, which I was really wondering about from everything
Yeah.
I read of yours, and going, well, this is all I can get megadose, and it's not gel, but at least it's megadose. But I guess if it needs to be the gel, and then the magnesium, I like that too. So
Yeah.
I'll.
So I
You
think
gotta
you're on the
remember
right
everything.
track.
You gotta remember that everything that goes in us has to be processed.
Yeah.
And our body has to process it through whatever means it needs to. If it's already in the form that the body's easy is to process, then that's just that much better. And as far as the magnesium, that doesn't matter because your body just sucks it in however it does. I mean, it's And if you look too, if you really look into that part of it too, anybody who does sports, any sports people, period, usually after they're done, we're talking professional sports, these guys are just, and women, pumped up, muscles. They get a rub down of magnesium because it relaxes the muscle cells also. Uh, this goes beyond belief of what all it does, but increase your dosage of that as much as possible. I mean, really.
So we'll be
Yeah,
expecting to
I
hear
had to
some
mute.
good things. Oh,
I had
sorry,
to mute
Michael.
Roz because we were getting feedback through her speakers.
Yeah, I
So
know.
that's what happened there. So you had something to say, Dakota, and then I'll unmute Roz again.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, you sound like you're on the right track, and email me. We'll go to Bellingham.
She's right there. I mean, she just, tweak it out a little bit
Oh,
and
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, you're Roz. Yeah.
So I think,
Yeah,
Roz, that you're on the right track. It's just too bad that you kind of had, a period of time where it was like you were on sort of the right things, but not the ones that were working as well as they could. So I think you're going to see some.
we specify this because we like a lot of people, many 8 million people have tried with psoriasis, and
yeah.
we ran across this, and it was a specific set of protocols that made this work. And we didn't just try it a little bit. I mean, we researched this and looked at all the information behind it, and then started getting the feedback from the people who were following it exactly, and it's phenomenal. It's like, it works. That's all you can say. Is if you do it, it works. So.
Well, and you guys remind me again, Charlie, how long you've each been psoriasis free, and you.
I've had psoriasis 30 plus years, and for the last 2.5 years, I think it is, I've been psoriasis free basically. And now I don't go like, I mean, we have it. It's not going to go away.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a treatment. So
what
I do now, but now I don't take any high doses of anything. I take the recommended daily balances, except for the D3. I do a little higher because the USDA does not have the right information on that, according to the latest studies out on health, that D3 can be multiplied by quite a bit from what they're showing. But the magnesium, there's nothing on it. They don't tell you to take this, that, this, that. They don't say anything. But if you look at the research behind it, and like on our last video or thing we did here, webinar, there was a link posted to a website that I favor for information about that, because it's extremely important, and it's what makes everything else coincide and work with each other in the body to do what it needs to do. The reason we do the no dairy, that has nothing to do with the vitamins. It has everything to do with us. We already have a problem with calcium. That's what our problem is.
Okay, well, let me just Charlie, let me just jump in here. The two studies that I found, one said that people with psoriasis had an inability to metabolize calcium.
Correct.
The other one said that excess calcium had been found in psoriasis plaques. And when I did the study of when I started connecting dots based on reading crime novels about why Asian countries have so much less psoriasis, and then if you search the dairy consuming countries, top 100, not one Asian country. That's how those dots got connected.
Wow, interesting.
And in the United States, they have all this extremely good information they have for what they've discovered in the body, all the way down to the T cells that contribute to all these different diseases in our body. They actually know what T cell screws up in people with psoriasis, but they don't know how to correct it.
Oh, really?
Yes. If the funding was there, they might know how to correct it, but there's more money
Yeah.
in treating it.
In treatment
Treating it
than
with
curing.
Exactly.
allopathic medications.
That's the way
Yeah.
to go, you know.
Oh, hey, you don't have to talk to me about big pharma.
Yeah,
Holy man.
yeah, you know, it's. I'm not going to blame this or that. The point is, it's like,
Oh,
you
why
know,
not?
nothing else out there works. We need to find something that relieves this in us,
Right.
regardless of whoever's shortcomings there are. Screw them.
Right.
We need
Yeah.
to do this, and we found that this works.
Well, and I like the idea that it is all natural, and with what Dakota just said about the studies and the calcium, and we
Maybe
can
you
absorb
like
it.
the idea. I don't, because I'm not one of those natural freak people. I just don't. That's not my thing, you know.
Oh, Charlie, you're
But you know what?
one.
That's it. You're getting this side benefit. In fact, I have to say this. It was hilarious. A friend of mine, we were just like hugging, and she was just going, "Oh my God, like your skin is so soft." And I was like, "What, really?" And she's like, "Yeah, what are you doing?" And then I went, "Well," and I told her because I've been doing this protocol, so D3 and magnesium chloride, and she's like, "Oh my God, that must be it." And you know, I hadn't thought about it, and then I do like feel my skin and realize, no doubt, this is a win-win thing. Once I especially get the soft gel D3, is
okay, Roz.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The woman
Yeah.
who first found the D3, the K2 D3,
yeah.
had been looking for a couple of things. And one of them, she was looking for anti-aging stuff.
I love it.
I actually found a picture of myself 2 years before I actually had the terrible flare-up and started taking it. And
Yeah.
I mean, my face was a mass of wrinkles, right? And I went,
Wow.
I wonder, because next year I'm going to be 70. And
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you look
70.
awesome.
And I went, okay, whatever's working, I think I'll just
Wow.
stay with this
Yeah,
protocol.
it's making her feel young. She tried to talk me into going to Mexico with her.
Yeah. And you said no? Are you kidding?
He said no.
He's
Oh, I'll go with you, Dakota. I'll go with you. I love Mexico. I've been there so many times. I love it.
I have too.
And it's
Well,
great for your skin.
It is.
It is.
But you know what? You know what the thing that I found in Mexico? I would never wear a bathing suit or go to the beach or wear shorts or whatever in Vancouver because this is my home. I don't want to run into somebody that I know with my
Yeah.
back when my skin was bad. But I'd
Yeah.
go to Mexico, and I would always go to Puerto Vallarta, and the Playa Los Muertos, which is the big gay area. I think they're not looking at me anyway. I would just go walking out, and I wouldn't care if my psoriasis showed. I'd sort of hide myself away. But I always felt more comfortable there. I just thought, people were more. I just found Mexican people are more accepting. They really are.
Very
They're
much.
beautiful
They are.
people.
They are.
So,
I love them. Yeah.
I always felt that way too after about 12 Carta Blancas. I mean, I was.
Yeah. You're speaking the international language of beer.
This is a guy I've been talking to every Friday for. It's like you should hear the things I call him.
You know what? I was going to say, what is that strange bedfellows? But it's funny what brings people together, and I love when you talk about the protocol. I love how you liken that to Charlie had the missing link. You obviously read a lot of books or like you said, crime novels, but that was like that one key. It's like you had these two, but the whole thing of the magnesium flowing, making it flow.
Hey, at least she knows how to read. I mean,
yeah, that's true. The whole thing is about this whole protocol. is it was so weird how Flint Chick, myself, and
Mm,
Charlie all showed up at around the same time. We
mm,
all were into digging. We were
right,
all off in little different directions. She was K2D3, I was dairy, he was magnesium chloride.
right,
He came on my thread. This is
And
when he
every
had a
every
beard. He
every
had a
every
beard.
part every part worked well on each on a lot of people, but it
right.
didn't have real lasting effects. Okay, you'd have tremendous effects, but not lasting. Like me with the magnesium, I started this because of bugs,
Oh,
and
right, yeah,
and all of a sudden here I am clearing, and literally in 30 years and all the medications I took, everything I took,
yeah.
I never even had so much as a remission of any kind. And all of a sudden my skin is clearing, but
Mm,
it didn't stay clear.
uh-huh.
And
Until
then
you had
yeah,
the,
and then we started getting in on our thing. Well, that's when, and it took Dakota a year to convince me to take these vitamins, and I thought,
Very stubborn.
because I
He
just
should have
kept
just
telling.
said they were beer capsules or
Well,
something.
yeah, that's
Beer
yeah. I mean,
supplements.
if it had
Because
beer in it, I'd have done it a long time ago.
honestly, I had to say to him, I had to say, Charlie, we're doing a 4-part protocol for God's sake. Would you just start taking the K2D3, right? He takes the K2D3 and after he goes, oh, you know what? My skin's getting better. Well,
Yeah,
duh.
yeah,
That's why all four. Well, I like how you said that thing. If you take it to the
yeah.
mechanic and go,
And I
well,
had,
just put
I
three
had, I
tires
had
on, not
to,
four.
I had to admit to her that it was working. That hurt. I mean, it was like,
It did.
Wow. You're
Really?
a rare breed of both American and American male. You can admit when you're wrong. I'm very impressed.
oh,
Very impressed.
not very easy. Not very
Not
easy.
easy.
Well,
Not
yeah,
easy.
well,
You
at
have
least
no
you can.
idea. You have no idea how many times I've said, Charlie, shut the fuck up.
To
Oh
put
my
it
God.
very mildly, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've had some,
Well,
but we always laugh. We always have a good
yeah.
time. We're like completely, I mean, really, if you had seen the first pictures that I saw, which is Charlie's first picture when he hijacked my thread, not on this, on another
Yeah.
site we were on.
Yes, I've read about that.
He had a white beard down practically to his waist, and I thought, who is this guy?
Oh
You know,
no.
who is this Duck Dynasty that's, like, and I basically told him to piss off,
But you couldn't get rid of him.
I couldn't.
That's
He was
well.
too, you know what? He was charming.
Oh, that. Yes.
It's
Underneath all
not
that
that.
facial
It's
hair,
not that.
Charm.
It
there
was
was.
all because I was true. I wasn't lying about anything. I was being
That's
honest.
true.
Yeah.
This, I was trying to share an experience that I had never had,
Mm,
and I thought, my God, people need to know about this, and
yeah.
it
Well,
just,
that's and
Plus,
yeah.
the other thing is I was watching him sneaking up on my numbers, because I was doing really well on this site and he was doing really well. And I was thinking, this guy's doing really well. What is he into? Like, what's he doing? And then, and when we first joined forces, we didn't really realize that it worked together. We just kind of went, well, we both got something that works. Maybe we'll just join together, and if one thing doesn't work, maybe the other thing will work for people. But the fact is, we had no idea that it
Yeah.
actually all worked together.
and,
Synergistically.
and,
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
and, and
Yeah.
our big thing about this whole thing, the entire
Hmm.
is it needs to be shared with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is
I
something
love
that
that.
works, and we need to share this. We don't need to charge people. We don't want to charge people for
Yeah.
something that's going to make their life better. I mean,
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
It's changed. Honestly, this summer, last summer, I was still kind of going through the too many years, 47 years of having this. even though my skin was clear, I couldn't quite get into shorts or go to the beach or whatever. But this year, I did, and it was like
Yay.
it was like heaven. It was
I
like
bet.
heaven. It was heaven.
Yeah.
And I'm going, come on, I'm almost 70. This is mean.
Yeah, I'm
No.
I'm kind of glad I wasn't there to see that.
At least you.
You're in big trouble.
Well, I'm just glad you
He's
got
an asshole.
to have that, right?
Yeah,
And
me too. Me
even
too.
if it was having to sacrifice hooking up with an asshole, you still got
Yeah.
it was worth it. But what's
So,
that
you
big
know what? We
purple
just
thing?
have to know
Oh,
something.
we just got a 5-minute
got-
warning.
We got
Oh.
our 5 minutes.
We gotta sum this up.
By
Hey,
the
well,
way,
I feel like I got a private session with you
well,
guys.
hold on. I just want to make sure, is anybody else on here who's listening that would like to ask a question? Because for some reason, Michael, if you can let them on, I don't seem to see anything that anybody else wants to ask anything. Is there, Michael?
There are other people on, and there are no questions in the question box from anybody right now.
There are no questions?
And no, there aren't. And if anybody who is on wants to ask a question, you can click on the little hand button on your GoToWebinar control panel. There's a little picture of a hand, and we can unmute you, or you can type a question into the question or chat box.
Right.
But
I just want
I
to
don't
make
see
sure that
anything right
anybody
now.
has a question. So, okay, so people are just listening, so that's fine. We don't mind.
Well, that's a good thing. Maybe we're getting it all cleared up, and everybody knows exactly what they need to do.
Well,
I feel like
think
I've
it's great,
totally
Roz.
dominated this, though. But
Well, no, I
sorry,
think it's
everybody
great.
listening.
No, I think it's great because you ask good questions, and maybe a lot of other people are running into the same problems as you. You see, the thing is, I almost, I'm going to do just a slight craziness here. I get a lot of letters. Not I do. I just answer them because I don't want Charlie to, because Charlie will blow a gasket because steam comes out of his ears.
Yeah,
But I get a lot of questions from people where they go, gee, like I've been doing the K2 D3, I've been doing the D3, I've been doing 2,000 IU a day daily for a month and nothing's happening, and I'm like, where did you get that number?
It's 20. Yeah.
25,000.
Yeah.
And so it's
mega dose.
Look at it's like there's a PDF. There are videos.
Mm-hmm.
We can't hold your hand. We've made it as clear as possible.
And remember, this is only in the beginning to get this big jump start that we need. This is not a forever thing. I mean,
which was why I was asking.
You have to take the stuff, but it's like I consider a maintenance level to be 10,000 IU daily. Maintenance.
That would be safe.
Yeah.
That's maintenance.
No, and I think if there are any other fellow Canadian psoriasis people listening, then they're in the same boat as me, so they know that was what my big challenge was, trying to get the mega dose. I understood that much, but it was like, oh my God, there's only 1,000 IUs.
Here's the good news. Here's the good news about Canada. Almost all our cities are right close to the American
border.
and a real quick note to you and most people, you won't have your magnesium checked because they can't. Because the level fluctuates daily. That's why I stress the importance of many applications as you can in the beginning.
Yeah.
No, I got that much. That's great. I'm gonna
there's no big test for it. It's like the magic stuff, but people don't understand that it's that important. It really is. So.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, so I think
wow, guys.
Toward the end.
Well, I will be the voice, as I have been this whole hour, for hopefully the rest of my fellow psoriasis folks.
It was great. It was
jump back on next time. We don't care. We love it.
I thank you so much for, like you said, making this free and available for all of us as it should be. And I love the coincidence of all these people having the different modalities, and then boom, it was like the 4 pieces.
Yeah.
And Dakota, if you want to shoot me an email, you've got my email address, and
Okay,
then we
I was
can.
going to say you shoot me an email because I get too many emails with different things. So
Okay.
shoot me an email, then I'll be able to respond back.
Okay.
To that.
And that's on your website.
And by the way, before we leave, we always want to make sure that we give a big thank you to Michael. Michael's the one that keeps us going. He created the website, not us.
Thanks, Michael.
And the big thing, all this sharing, all this stuff wouldn't happen without the internet and somebody like Michael to make this happen. So.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah, it can be an amazingly powerful, helpful tool for sure. Yeah. So thank you, Michael. Thank you, Charlie, Dakota, and I'll shoot you off an email. We'll do a little shopping trip to the States.
All right. Well, peace out, as I always say.
Now, how do I end this thing, or it'll just end anyway?
We're just gonna vanish.